Hello, it's me, number 47. In today's video, we are going to be talking about a prophecy that was hidden from us for a long time. The truth is that this prophecy was written down in stone tablets thousands of years ago, and even though it's been proven to exist, we're just now waking up to its message. So what does this prophecy say? And how will it affect our future? Let's begin. But first, if you are new here and you haven't yet subscribed, take a moment and subscribe. It really helps me out. Also, make sure to go over to my website, where you can sign up for my free newsletter and check out some of the other great videos I have listed there. Lastly, if you want to learn more about Earth mysteries, make sure to subscribe to my other channel. Links to all these are in the description box below. Thanks so much for your support. Now, let's begin. The story begins in 1927, when a German man named Karl Landsteiner was excavating an ancient site called At this site, he found several large slabs of rock with mysterious markings on them. These turned out to be part of a larger structure which ended up being named the Crystal of Mzora. This crystal is still in Iraq to this very day, and it's about 19 feet tall, 12 feet wide, and 6 feet thick. That's huge. Some have said that it weighs over 300 tons. It contains 24 distinct panels, each with their own unique images and markings. Because of the size and weight of the crystal, most archaeologists believe that it was built by King Nebuchadnezzar to around 600 BC, but others believe that it may have actually been made by ancient aliens because of the astronomical alignments and other markings that are present on the stones. The most interesting thing about this crystal is that it seems to depict a massive flood that destroyed the entire world. In fact, the main panel shows a fish swallowing a human figure, while several other figures are fleeing for their lives. Other smaller panels show cities getting destroyed by water and people running away from the deadly flood. Interestingly enough, these flood stories aren't limited to just this crystal. We find similar flood narratives in many other cultures across the planet. And even though scholars try to dismiss them, saying that they all come from the same source, it makes you wonder if there really was a great flood that occurred in the past. As we look at these ancient carvings in more detail, we notice that there is a single eye in the center of a triangle above the fish. This has led some to believe that it depicts an all-seeing eye of God, like the one that's often used in Freemasonry. Others see this as evidence of extraterrestrial contact, since ancient astronauts were also known to be highly advanced in their technology. Either way, it's clear that whoever made this crystal had a deep understanding of astronomy. In fact, it has been suggested that the crystal itself was used as a giant sundial, and that the markings correspond with the movements of the sun and the stars. What's most amazing is that it seems to accurately predict the exact date that the Earth will end. If you zoom in on the right side of the crystal, you will notice a series of numbers. For a long time, no one knew what these meant, until a man named Paul Lee tried to decode them. After studying the crystal for months, he realized that the numbers could be converted into dates based on the Julian calendar. These dates lined up almost perfectly with significant events in history. For example, 12,900 corresponds to the birth of Abraham, while 13,900 refers to the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. Interestingly, the last date on the crystal is 19,999, which would fall on March of 2024. However, not everyone agrees that the crystal predicts the end of the world. Some say that it only goes up to the year 1999 AD, meaning that the Earth will only be partially destroyed by that time. Then the rest of it will happen in the year 2024. We do not know exactly why it stops there, but it's possible that it's just a coincidence, or maybe it's trying to tell us something else entirely. Perhaps the partial destruction of the Earth will occur in 1999. and then it will be completely destroyed 3 years later. So what does all this mean for us? Does the Crystal of Mzora really predict a great flood that will destroy the earth? Or is it just another hoax perpetrated by those who want to make a quick buck off gullible tourists? Only time will tell, but in the meantime, we can marvel at the beauty and mystery of this ancient artifact. Some say that this crystal isn't just an ordinary piece of history. Instead, it's a warning from our ancestors about what could happen if we don't take care of our planet. The images carved into the stone show the destructive power of nature and remind us that we are not invincible. Whether you believe in climate change or not, there's no denying that we have a responsibility to protect the environment. After all, it's the only one we've got. If you think about it, the Crystal of Mzora could be humanity's first attempt at leaving behind a message for future generations. A message warning them about the dangers of unchecked industrialization and the importance of living in harmony with nature. Maybe that's why the crystal has survived for so long. It's because deep down we knew that it contained an important message that we needed to hear. It's easy to get caught up in our busy lives and forget about the bigger picture. But sometimes it helps to take a step back and remember that we're all just tiny specks in the grand scheme of things. We're just visitors on this planet, and we need to do everything we can to preserve it for future generations. The problem is that many of us are too focused on making money and gaining power. We're willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to get what we want. But in the end, it's ourselves that we end up hurting the most. The Crystal of Mzora reminds us of this. It shows us that even the greatest empires can be wiped out in an instant, and that nothing lasts forever. We live in a disposable society where we throw away things that we don't use anymore. But the truth is that everything has a purpose. Nothing is worthless. When you throw something away, it doesn't just disappear. It ends up in a landfill where it sits for hundreds of years. The same goes for our natural resources. When we use them up, we don't think about where they go. But the truth is that nothing goes away. It all comes back to haunt us in one way or another. The Crystal of Mzora is a reminder of this. It shows us that we can't keep taking from the earth without giving back. At some point, the balance will tip and we'll have nothing left. So what can we do to make sure that doesn't happen? For starters, we need to be more aware of our impact on the environment. We need to understand that every action has a reaction and that everything we do affects the earth. We also need to start thinking about the long term, instead of just taking care of business today. We need to invest in renewable energy and sustainable practices, so that we do undeplete all of the Earth's resources. Finally, we need to teach future generations about the importance of protecting the environment. We need to make sure that they understand that the Earth is not theirs to exploit, but rather something to be cherished and protected. The Crystal of Mzora is an ancient artifact that holds many secrets. While it may never reveal the full extent of its knowledge, it serves as a powerful reminder of our connection to the natural world and the importance of preserving it for future generations. By following these simple steps, we can ensure that the Earth remains a thriving and beautiful planet for centuries to come. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and share it with your friends and family. Also, make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.